So Gilbert Gottfried died.
Shout out.
And this has been quite the year for comedians dying, by the way. Gilbert Gottfried was the man. He was
Especially comedians who were in photos with Jeff Ross.
Oh, that's what you've been saying, right? It does feel like it. He was there last night, actually.
Yeah, he was there at the cellar last night. I was not getting a photo with that guy.
Well, but yeah, Saget, Norm Macdonald, Godfrey, like they're going like flies.
Yeah.
It almost feels like a conspiracy, man. Comedians are getting died. These guys all aren't that old.
No, well, yeah, I think Norm was the youngest. They're all in their 60s.
I actually talked to Roseanne recently.
Yeah.
And she was sort of saying, she was like, yeah, I was going to talk to this person. Then I found out they were dead. And then he was like, and then one of my other friends, like we were going to meet up and then they were dead. It's like people
cherish your loved ones.
Yeah.
Because,
they could take a photo with Jeff Ross.
Yeah, because they could be in a photo with Jeff Ross and then just like montage style, where they disappear from
But there
the
was
photo.
all these photos with all four of them. And it's like, it was a literal Final Destination situation.
I know.
So I'll just say, I think Gilbert Gottfried's the man, but interesting because I did a festival with him this year, and I did a couple shows where on the same shows I actually did one where it was the comedian brings up the next comedian, so I brought him up, right? So we were like chatting or whatever. We're in the dressing room, and he basically was very kind of old, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think he's that old. I don't know the exact age.
He was 60 something.
But yeah, do you know what I'm saying? He wasn't 80, right?
Yeah.
But he had a very 80-ish vibe.
Yeah.
So he kind of
I guess he had some sort of thing going on.
He had a thing
I
going
think his
on.
last show was in Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah, like a week ago.
So he had a thing going on, and then he had essentially like a handler kind of thing. I don't know if it might have been like his girlfriend, but he had someone that was kind of taking care of him, and he would kind of come in, and it was very, we need to find him a chair because he can't. And then so they tried to find him a chair, and then it was like the chair was too low, so it was like, hey, can we get a higher chair so we could sit the right way? And then basically, here's another thing that happened. That he was kind of like, he was going to have to bring up the comic after him, right? And then he was kind of like, oh, what's their name? And then he's like, I don't know if I can remember the name. So basically I came on after him and then brought up the next person.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to have to remember a name to say, right? So he was very out of it, kind of in a way, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes from this, gets on stage, like goes from, where can I sit? Gets on stage. How's everybody?
It just switches. Like,
destroys.
Yeah.
For 20 minutes. He goes from, kind of, is this guy okay?
Yeah.
To destroys. Sharp as attack. 20, 25 minutes. Gets right off stage. Right back to that.
Yeah.
Isn't that strange?
Yeah. I guess he's like, he could just pull it all together for that moment. And then it's like kind of Green Mile,
It's a little like that.
Just takes it all out of him. He goes, I'm so tired, boss.
Yeah, and it's also a little like the, like it's music. You know how there's people that kind of lose their, their mind starts to go, but they can still play piano perfectly or something like that.
Yeah. Like he has the muscle memory of like, I can just do my routine.
He just can do it. Yeah. And it was very interesting. He killed. He was sharp. He was, commenting on things that were happening. So maybe with people like that, if it wasn't for comedy, it would have been sooner. Maybe that's one of the things that kept him going.
Keeping him going.
As soon as you let your brain go, that's when as soon as you stop, challenging yourself, I think a lot of people really lose it, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? Thank you for watching that clip, supporting the channel. If you like The Boyscast, there's a new episode every week at patreon.com/TheBoyscast.
That's patreon.com/TheBoyscast.